Perhaps the greatest message I could give to anybody is what I'm going to say right now. The essence of freedom is the limitation of government. Please try to remember that. The Romans forgot it, and then they allowed the government to begin to exceed the powers that they had been given in the Roman Constitution. The first excess was agriculture subsidies. And then they had housing programs, and then welfare programs. They began to convert the government into a positive force. And there must have been people who went to the Roman senators or the tribunes or whoever and said, where are you getting the authority to do what you're doing? That's not in the Constitution. And the answer came back, well, of course, you would certainly not have us ignore the people who are poor or the people who are homeless. We have to do something. And that kind of an argument knocked them right out of the box. And that kind of an argument knocks people right out of the box today, doesn't it? What's the proper response? The proper response is that, yes, each of us has a responsibility to help the poor and help the homeless. But when you get government involved, overnight you're going to have 100,000 times more people who need that kind of help. And government grows and grows. And if it continues to grow, it will soon be totally powerful. Well, in Rome, what happened? Taxation went up, controls went up, the private sector was destroyed. A lot of people began to go on the dole who had been producers previously. And then pretty soon, they ended up with the mobs roaming the streets as the shortages developed and people began to say to themselves that they needed the government to help them. Well, what happened is the Roman Republic went the route of democracy, and then it went the route of anarchy. And finally, it just came crashing down upon them, and they ended up with a progression of the Caesars, an oligarchy where the Caesars had total power and where they ruled with the iron fist. Why do we talk about what happened in Rome 2,000 and more years ago, except that that is exactly what is happening in the United States of America today?